Yan pala si Yusek. Yusek Asis. Yes, sir.
Your Honor, the cost that I would be giving you is based on the new plans where we upgraded the design to be able to withstand winds of 250 kilometers per hour. So this is upgraded design that we are now using sa umpisa sa Tacloban po. So we have one classroom, one-story building with dimensions 7 by 9 meters or 63 square meters. The total cost amounts to 1.092 million. 1.092 million, and that would translate to a unit cost of 14,278 pesos per square meter. We also have a two-classroom design, one story. The total cost is 1.97 million, which translates to a unit cost of 12,878 pesos per square meter. We likewise have a three-classroom design, one story, with a total cost of 2.865 million, giving us a unit cost of 12,484 pesos per square meter. We have a four-classroom design, one story, with a cost of 3.76 million, translated into a unit cost of 12,290 pesos per square meter. And finally, we have a five-classroom, one-story building with a total cost of 4.566 million, or a unit cost of 11,937 per square meter.
You have a model, a multi-story model. Just give us sampling. What is the tallest building that you have a parang a plan and a model layout or model plan for?
These are not school buildings, Your Honor. We have, upon request of some agencies, we do help them in the design, estimating, and construction of their buildings. An example here is the construction of the four-story Civil Service Commission Resource Center building. The total cost is 132.95 million, Your Honor. And it has a floor area of 3,800 square meters, or a unit cost of about 35,000 pesos per square meter. We also have another project, a three-story. It will be housing the Bureau of Research and Standards building. No? So this would have laboratories at the ground floor with special foundations for the materials testing equipment. It has a total cost of 67.32 million. An floor area of 1,836 square meters, or a unit cost of 36,667 pesos per square meter.
Your tallest structure. Okay na yun, 4 stories? With your
Yes, Your Honor.
the data that you have, 4
Yes, Your
stories. Sige. Okay na? That should be enough, Yusek. Sige, Senator Trillanes.
Yusek Asis, that's based on the 2014 prices, right? Okay.
Yes, Your Honor.
So, can we assume that it's going to be a lot cheaper if it's based on 2008 prices? the cost would be much less than what you have just stated?
Possibly, Your Honor.
Possibly. Okay. So,
Can I go back to Architect Alano? Okay, sir. So you mentioned your estimate, and you have experience in appraising infrastructure projects. 25,000 to 28,000 per square meter. Will you accept the 19,162 square meters of the measured by the DPWH? 19,162 square meters.
Square meters.
Yeah.
Yeah,
As described, basement, ground floor, second floor. And they also saw, may nakita nga kayong variation, no, na yung even numbered floor, pareho silang area, yung odd number, di ba? So, I don't know, paano nangyari yun? So, may space yung even number? May space yan? May atrium? Sige, yun po. So,
there are some applications wherein, for example, the basement, the ground floor, the other rooms, even the upper floors, they have a different, say, cost per square meter. But on the average,
yes, average.
average,
Yeah.
well, I would stick to that.
Yeah, and then we will, tama yung pag-describe. And when we say the number of square meters of a project, in this particular case, they measure the basement, ground floor, up to the 10th floor. Logical, di ba?
Yeah.
So, we now multiply the upper limit of your estimate, which is 28,000 per
Yes,
square meter.
yes.
Multiply natin sa 19,162
Yeah.
to get your that will be now your estimate of the total project.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, sige, let our staff or the viewers do it. And then, sige, can I proceed? Can I go to Mr. Cuervo? Senator Trillanes?
okay. Well, Mr. Chairman, let me just ask Architect Alano. The cost per square meter that you have just mentioned, is that based on the 2014 prices?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
Yes, sure.
But if again, I'll ask the same question as I asked Yusek Asis. If we are to assume that this will be based on 2008 prices, would the cost per square meter be lower than what you mentioned?
There's a possibility that it could be lower by a certain percentage, small percentage.
Okay. So that's understandable, Architect Alano. But let me just state for the record, Mr. Chairman, that while the actual measurement of the DPWH is 19,162 square meters, based on the documents submitted by Makati City Hall and Hillmarks, the total area is 23,000 square meters. So, may nawawala na naman silang close to 4,000 square meters. So, I think this is another pattern that we have observed, which is why we recommended that as part of the COA technical inspection, they should measure the building, the actual building, so that we won't be shortchanged. Because in the Makati Parking Building, we lost 5,000 square meters. In the Makati Science High School building, we lost 4,000 square meters. Yes, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, Mr. Architect Alano, so I used the upper limit nga of your range, di ba? 28,000 per square meters. We used the lower figure of the DPWH of 19,162 square meters. We arrive at the total cost for the project per your estimate, 536 million.
Yes, sure.
Okay. And if we use now your upper limit of 28,000 per square meter and the declared area, total area of 23,000 square meters, we multiplied, we have the cost is 644 million pesos.
Yeah, more.
So range din, lagyan na rin natin ng range yung estimate mo. Ang estimate mo is 536 million pesos to 644 million pesos. Do you accept that, Architect Alano, as your estimate of the total cost of the Makati Science High School building?
Yes, Your Honor.
So, okay.
Mr. Chairman, one question. Architect Alano, would the range of the cost per square meter include the contractor's profit?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. So, para maliwanag lang na yung binigay na presyo ay may kita na yung kontratista. Okay, sige. Thank you. And again, these are based on the prevailing prices.
Yes, Your Honor.
Prevailing pa yon, prevailing and then upper limit pa yung ginamit ko.
Yes,
right?
Your Honor.
Can we now go to Mr. Cuervo, who's really in this line of business of appraising infrastructure projects? So can you give us your impressions, sir?
Okay, in first computing the floor area of the building, I just received yesterday the JPEG file, but even if you zoom in, you can't. It's not legible, no. However, from Google Map, we know that the dimensions of the building is 30 by 70. This is outer surface, no, from outer surface to outer surface. That gives you a gross floor area per floor of 2,100 square meters. Now, I just deduct the open spaces, no, from 2,100 for every floor going down. So I gave it full area for the ground floor and the basement. And then as we go higher, we remove all these spaces that are open. I arrived a little more than 20,000 per square, including the building that there is on the roof deck. That is the, I think that's elevator motor.
What did you arrive at, sir? 20,000.
A
Is it the
little-
pesos or the area?
Square meters, square meters.
The area, the
Yes,
area.
Gross floor area.
Okay,
I'm
gross
talking
floor
about the gross
area
floor
would
area.
be
A little above 20,000 square meters.
20,000 square meters. Okay.
Now, well, this is very rough, no? Computation. So I'm sure if you have AutoCAD, you could come up with a more accurate computation, maybe 19,000 is a more accurate number. And now, in my appraisal, considering, well, the auditorium is not finished and where there is no sewage treatment plant, no? I didn't deduct any cost for curing because, like what was observed, the exit doors are opening the opposite direction. So if there's a, let's say, earthquake, it's going to be a fire trap, because it opens backwards when it's supposed to be pushed out. All the doors are in the opposite direction. On the ground floor where all the stairs end, rushing out to the common area, you have to pull back. So that has to be cured. I did not deduct the cost for curing. No? And then another, I think, I was observed by the architect, the steps are too high for a high school. It's 8 inches. It should be 7. So the design of the stairs is also defective. But anyway, that thing you can't cure anymore. No? Now the reason the heat in the upper floors is because there's no ventilation, so the heat is all cut, inside. Plus, the ceiling fan is not a good idea because the hot air just goes down again. No? It's better to put exhaust fans. So these are ventilation. I did not put any cost for curing or depreciation. No? My values are as of end of 2013. Now, I came up with an appraisal market value for the whole building of 489 million. That comes out to about 24,000 pesos per square. That's all, Your Honor.
Thank you, Mr. Cuervo. Senator Alan Peter Cayetano.
Morning, Mr. Chair. Magandang umaga po sa ating mga resource persons. Either Architect Alano or Sir Cuervo or Yusek Asis, can I try to just clarify parang yung SOP, Standard Operating Procedures or Rule of Thumbs sa infrastructure, no? Para lang maintindihan natin mga kababayan kasi minsan we hear statements that there's a hypocrisy, why are you investigating this but not that? If there is a handbook saying 25 to 30,000, why aren't you investigating 31,000? Is 25,000 too cheap, etc.? No? So let me try to just have a 2-minute version, and please interrupt me if what I'm saying is wrong. No? Okay. Unang-una, for every specific type, no, sa bawat tipo ng building o structure, meron kang ballpark figure kung magkano, or meron kang rule of thumb, no? So pag sinabi kong one-story building ng classroom, more or less masasabi mo kung, sir, between 250,000 yan to 500,000. But if I say that it's a multi-level building, ibig sabihin mas matibay yung foundation, you can say, ay sir, mas mahal yan kasi yung foundation at saka yung structure, no? So, let's say it's 500,000 to 1 million. Pero pag umabot ka ng 5 floors, magbabago din po dahil meron pong elevator, no? So, iba na rin yung structure noon at pagpapaayos. Then, when you go to, ang sabi sa akin ng ibang architects na kaibigan ko, pag more than 15 floors, magbabago na naman yung presyo, no? So far, what I've been saying is correct. I see people nodding, no? So let the record reflect, no, that they are agreeing. Okay. So, but because of dahil po sa mga design, no? Anong klaseng materyales ang gagamitin, saan ito gagawin, there can be variances, no? For example, sabi ni Secretary Singson in the ICC hearing, no? Ang prices ng DPWH per region. Kasi pwedeng ang semento dito sa Metro Manila is what? 100, magkano na ba ngayon Yusek Asis, more or less? 100, less than 200 pesos, so mga 200, o mga 200, no? But pwedeng merong probinsya na dahil ibabarko pa, tapos may double handling, ibig sabihin, palipat-lip yung magdadala doon, no? Pwedeng 220 o 250 yung semento doon, no? So meaning, yung variances na to, 5%, 3%, mapapaliwanag, no? Next point, no? Halimbawa, malambot yung lupa pag sinoil test o kaya kailangan ng yung sinasabi nilang pilings, no? Kahit yon, may rule of thumb ka pa rin, may ballpark ka pa rin. No? Meaning, if I go to Architect Alano and say na, sir, tama ba yung sinabi ng architect ko na kung dito ko gagawin yung building ko, 4 floors, 5 floors, ang presyo 50,000. Pero dito, dahil malambot ang lupa, plus 5% daw dahil lalagyan ng pile sheets. No? So whether it's 5% or 10%, ang punto ko po, there is still a rule of thumb. Tama ba, sir?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay.
It varies actually on the
Yeah.
depth.
It varies, ho, but more or less, mako-compute. Hindi siya uncomputable, no?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. I make this point dahil maraming nagtatanong sa akin, pati mga public officials, barangay captains, mayors, di ba? Dahil if you go from town to town, iba-iba ang presyo, no? For example, no, in the city of Taguig, mas mura talaga kaso sa Makati, no? Pero lahat ng classrooms namin na bago, lahat air condition. So syempre, iba yung presyo mo ng do you call it mechanical ba? Where the electrical is put because mas mabigat ang load dahil meron kang aircon. But it's still much cheaper than yung mga ginagawa sa Makati. So this is my point, no? Kung ang difference 5, 10, 15%, pinapapaliwanag ng COA yan habang ino-audit, di ba? And as long as it's within the ABC o yung estimate ng agency. But if it is 50% more, 100% more, 200% more, di ba? Ibang usapan na yon. Kailangan mo na ipaliwanag why a building that you will make in Caloocan, for example, will cost 500 million. Why, when it is made in Makati, it costs 1.3 billion? Why, if you make it in Cavite, sabihin mong mas mahal doon dahil mas mahal ang simento doon. So doon umabot ng 600 million, pero pagdating sa Makati, 1.3 billion. Katabi lang ng Makati ang Pasay halimbawa. Kung sa Pasay 600 million yon, pagdating sa Makati 1.3 billion, yun po ang dahilan kung bakit natin iniimbestigahan, no? Dahil ang layo po ng presyohan and we're trying to get an answer from the opposite side, no? May I ask Mr. Chairman sa ating secretariat, despite us denying the reason for the Makati officials for not being here, meron bang a single official, no? Yung city administrator, city engineer, city budget officer ng Makati, nandito po ba sila?
They are not here. We issued the subpoena for the city administrator late yesterday. Although he gave me a verbal commitment last Saturday that they would all attend today's hearing. But they sent word yesterday that they could not attend. So, sayang po. So, we will have to, in that case, we will have to resort to the subpoena. We will have to not rely on verbal assurances that they will appear.
Well, for the record, Mr. Chairman, hindi natin kasalanan kung one-sided yung testimony. First of all, hindi sila nag-attend, so hindi sila makasagot. Pangalawa po, yung resource persons po natin na nandito today, except for the group of Vice Mayor Mercado, are not partisans or they're not advocates, no, for one side or the other, no. They are experts in their field, and we are asking them expert testimony o yung alam nila sa kanilang profesyon. No, they don't they're not testifying on the guilt or innocence or on the overprice or not. They're simply stating in their professional opinion kung magkano ito. So maririnig ko na naman sa radyo in the next few days sa BBC, sa Binay Broadcasting Corporation na kita mo one-sided, kita nyo dinidikdik ang Makati, but they're not here to answer. If they were here, and if Mayor Junjun Binay can answer, bakit may certification siya na 100% complete, samantalang nung tinignan yung 8, 9, and 10th floor, specifically 9th and 10th floor, hindi pa ito tapos. Unless kung ang definition ng Makati is 100% complete, is even if the building is not yet complete, may bayaran na, 100% na sa kanila yon, di ba? But how can they answer where they're not here? Lastly, Mr. Chair, they have allies in the Senate. It is not our fault if they are not here to grill the witnesses, no? I am not grilling Mr. Cuervo because Mr. Cuervo also estimated the price of Hacienda Binay. And the Binay law office themselves said that they believe in the estimates of Mr. Cuervo and they would not have given it to Mr. Chu if they don't believe in it. So I cannot tell Mr. Cuervo, pagka Binay ang estimate, I will not believe you. Pagka yung Makati building, I will believe you, no? Plus the fact, Mr. Chair, that there are other experts here who also have come to the same conclusion, very close to the estimates of Mr. Cuervo. So let me thank again those who came here, Architect Alano, Mr. Cuervo. You know, sometimes when you attend the hearings, kayo na gumawa ng mabuti, you already did good for the country, kayo pa nawawalan ng trabaho sa ibang LGU or sa ibang mga kumpanya because they'd rather keep this quiet. But hindi magbabago ang ating bansa unless lumabas tong lahat. So Mr. Chair, may I just reiterate, no, whether we have a subpoena or not. The Makati people, the group of Vice President is welcome to answer. But they have to be here and they have to do it under oath and it should be personal knowledge. Kung magpapadala lang ng spokesman na wala namang personal knowledge, sasabihin naman, hindi ako engineer nun, or hindi ko alam yung presyong yan, useless lang po. But if they will send the people who know, they are most welcome to testify here, Mr. Chair.
And since Senator Trillanes showed us a document signed by Engineer Badillo, Mayor Junjun Binay, and another person, we will subpoena those three personalities who signed the document to attend our next hearing. Dennis Kakilala, the project inspector of the CPMO, OIC City Engineer Mario Badillo, and of course City Mayor Jejomar Erwin S. Binay Jr. And also subpoena the city administrator who gave me the promise that they will be attending today's hearing during the ocular.
I'll just add
Senator
something.
Trillanes.
Mr. Chairman, I think this certificate of completion is necessary for the release of the payment. I think this is the primary purpose of this, and this can be validated by
COA Chair, ma'am, in your audit, do you look for that certificate of completion?
Cost of 3.76 million translated into a unit cost of 12,290 pesos per square meter. And finally, we have a 5-classroom, 1-story building with a total cost of 4.566 million or a unit cost of 11,937 per square meter.
You have a model, a multi-story model. Just give us sampling. What is the tallest building that you have a parang plan and a model layout? Yan pala si Yusek. Yusek Asis, yes sir.
Your Honor, The cost that I would be giving you is based on the new plans, where we upgraded the design to be able to withstand winds of 250 kilometers per hour. So this is upgraded design that we are now using sa umpisa sa Tacloban po. So we have one classroom, one-story building with dimensions 7 by 9 meters or 63 square meters. The total cost amounts to 1.092 million. 1.092 million, and that would translate to a unit cost of 14,278 pesos per square meter. We also have a two-classroom design, one story. The total cost is 1.97 million, which translates to a unit cost of 12,878 pesos per square meter. We likewise have a three-classroom design, one story, with a total cost of 2.865 million, giving us a unit cost of 12,484 pesos per square meter. We have a four-classroom design, one story, with a
So model plan for?
these are not school buildings, Your Honor. We have, upon request of some agencies, we do help them in the design, estimating, and construction of their buildings. An example here is the construction of the 4-story Civil Service Commission Resource Center building. The total cost is 132.95 million, Your Honor. And it has a floor area of 3,800 square meters, or a unit cost of about 35,000 pesos per square meter. We also have another project, a 3-story. It will be housing the Bureau of Research and Standards building. No, so this would have laboratories at the ground floor with special foundations for the materials testing equipment. It has a total cost of 67.32 million. An area, floor area